I'm Seth.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Pete.
And why are you out here today?
We want to support Bernie. He hasn't given up on us, so we're not giving up on him.
We want our voice back.
I want to see Bernie one time, at least during this election.
And what do you all hope to happen at the Democratic National Convention in July?
I'm hoping that Bernie manages to push the party to the left because he got 46% of the popular vote. I think that's a statistic. Don't quote me on that. Might be slightly less after California. But I think that he's gotten a very significant chunk of the popular vote, and therefore the DNC, who has consistently plowed over him for the entire election cycle, and I'm not going to get all conspiratorial on you right now, but he's done that, or they've done that, and I think that he needs to, he should have his voice heard and should be able to influence the party.
I hope that the election fraud, all of the fraud that's been happening is finally figured out, and that the person who won the most votes becomes our president.
And I hope the Democratic Party sees Bernie, who's the strongest candidate to win the general election. If they look at all the polls, all the exit polls, and they see that the independent voters that were shut out of many of the closed primaries who support Bernie wholeheartedly, I hope they see that and see that Bernie really is the strongest candidate and choose him to be our candidate.
Let me ask you all one last question. Whether Bernie wins or loses the Democratic nomination in July, where do you want to see his movement go from here?
Well, whoever ends up being the Democratic candidate, I hope that Bernie has done an effective job, and I think he already has, at pushing the party left on many of the issues, including minimum wage, universal health care plan. And I just hope that his voice continues to be heard and the party keeps moving towards the left, because right now the middle class of this country is just being trampled, and I just think that those people need to be heard, and I hope Bernie's voice continues to be part of the party for years to come.
I hope that, because I feel like so many independents and Democrats and Republicans all feel so supportive of Bernie and his message, that the Democratic Party realizes that maybe we don't need all this infighting between the parties, and that we can work together towards getting like a more forward-moving, progressive, thing. And I think also just all of us have become so excited about how our government works and starting to really take notice of our local representatives. And I'm 42 and I've never been involved in politics like I've been this past year, of seeing who are my local representatives and hold them accountable for the power that we've bestowed upon them in our name. And I hope that the movement brings more people in and brings more attention to that, so that we can all, make a difference in the bottom up,
Well, in the short term, I'm hoping that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the DNC chairman and ardent Hillary supporter, loses her seat in Congress to Tim Canova 2016. Vote for him on August 30th in Florida's 23rd congressional district. But in the longer term, I hope that the DNC learns that they cannot just ignore the major progressive movement, because we are not. We are at least a significant plurality, and they can't. They can't ignore us. They have to listen to us, and they cannot continue to steamroll us and in favor of super PACs and corporate donors and all that other horrible neoliberal crap, basically.
Excellent. Thank you. You all gave great answers.